It's week 2 of the National Football League, and we'll see Isaiah Pacheco. He was terrific a week ago, well over 100 yards and several stops in the end zone. It's the Chiefs and the Jaguars, and it comes your way next on Madden Football.
On the banks of the St. Johns River, there's a good look inside Everbank Stadium here in downtown Jacksonville. Coming up, a rematch of last year's AFC Divisional Round matchup, as it'll be the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Jaguar team. They come in off a good win on the road, and now they hit the home opener at 1-0.
And it's the defense that's really the star of the show. A terrific game last week. They got a shutout on the road, and that's something that doesn't happen very often nowadays.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Chiefs, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. Well, the Jaguars ready to go on offense for the first time, and they're led by the former #1 pick in the draft. In his third season now, Charles, Trevor Lawrence.
Last year, we got the Trevor Lawrence. So many tapped to be the savior of the Jaguars. He broke 4,000 yards for the first time and threw 25 touchdown passes and guided his team to the playoffs. This young man, he's been good since the first time he picked up a ball in Youth League. They expect nothing less from him again this season.
A man coming off an 1,100-yard campaign last year. Here's Travis Etienne. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. A shotgun snap and again to Etienne. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. And the officials here going to pause the game for a second. Looks like there's an injured Chief on the field. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. At the 23, it's 2nd and 12. Lawrence will throw. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. 3rd and 7 now. This defense for the Chiefs, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game.
And the pass is intercepted. He was looking for Ingram. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
So here come the defending champs, led out by the reigning MVP of the National Football League, a 2-time winner now in Patrick Mahomes.
And simply put, for many, he's the gold standard for quarterbacks in today's NFL because of his ability to create, find the open man, use all the different arm angles that he has. He's a complete package, and boy, his team loves to play around him.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a 7th-round surprise from a year ago. It's Isaiah Pacheco down at the 35. It'll be 2nd down. Simply not much more you can ask out of your running back. Over 100 yards and the 3 touchdowns.
And for an old coot like me, I loved it because he did it on the ground. A running back taking control of the game. That's what I like to see.
Hold on. An old coot?
Coot, C-O-O-T.
All right, I'll look that up later. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
1st and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. They'll run here with Pacheco. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. So his great start to the season continues. He found the end zone time after time in the opener last week, and he does it again here in week 2.
And Brandon, we have a lot of coaches sell us week to week that there is no momentum, there is no carryover. Every game is its own entity. But after what we saw him do last week and now punching one in here, I'm starting to think that there is a carryover, and he's feeling it.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no return here for Agnew, so they'll bring it out, start the drive at the 25.
So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the 2nd time here in this game. Now remember, the last time out, they threw the interception. That led to the touchdown, so now time to regroup.
It certainly is, and their goal right now as they go back out on the field, a calming drive, something that takes the ball, keeps it for a while, lets the defense relax a little bit, and lets the offense regain confidence in their game plan.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. Well, no matter your experience level as a quarterback, you throw an interception on that first drive, maybe a little shaken up. Nice response there to get their first down.
I think you make an excellent point. I don't care who you are. You throw an interception, it's going to get to you a little bit. But the ones that we've seen that are the best, you never notice it. They don't come to the bench, throw their helmets, they don't do any of that. They just go back out the next drive and act like it never happened. And that's what we're seeing here.
On 2nd down, a run with Etienne. And he'll pick up about 3 there, up to the 43. You talk about this Chiefs defense. Currently #1 in the NFL against the run.
And that's a ranking that feels good, right? To be #1 and be the top of your profession. But here's the problem. It's only week 1.
1 week, yeah.
Can they do it 15 more times? If so, then we really got something to talk about.
That's the challenge. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. Waiting on it will be Richie James. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And this will be taken at the 13. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Isaiah Pacheco and the offense back out. Last week, over 100 yards, 3 touchdowns. We were talking with him on the field before the game. He said simply, I was in a groove. He obviously was.
And I think he's been a little modest about that, being in a groove. That's a big-time game right there. And I think he feels like his entire team is coming along with him because they're creating spaces and holes for him to run through. He's making people miss, running through tackles. They are locked in a big way and confident about this game as well.
Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Again, it's Pacheco. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Brandon, you're a big lover of music. How about what you just saw there? This is what I call playing the piano for a defensive lineman. The ability to move laterally up and down the line of scrimmage. How about the way he just flowed and got to the outside part of the field and made that play?
Short throw hauled in by Kelsey. Well, I don't think he got there. No. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
And that's going to be a Chiefs 1st down as he'll take this up to the 38-yard line. Backed up where they were on this side of the field, that was a gutsy call.
A gutsy call that never should have happened. Not so much them going for it. That's their decision. But where's the defensive front? Where's the leverage? Where's the low man wins? Where's getting into the offensive backfield and spilling the play? How did they permit them to pick up a 1st down in that situation?
Now, during that run, an injury here We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Mahomes' throw here complete to Kelsey. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. A busy first quarter. His third catch of the afternoon is a first down.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a first down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 36. Throwing now is Mahomes. That's complete downfield to James. Touchdown! Richie James, his second touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. So this offensive unit, yeah, they were solid in the opening week victory, and now they are looking just as sharp here in week 2.
And that's exactly what you want, too, because you want to get better each and every week and really ramp up as the season goes on. I know it's still early in the season and a lot can happen, but this offense, they look like they're going to be fun to watch each and every time out.
Butker on for the PAT. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. So that drive in total 8 plays, and it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback. Jaguars offense ready to set up shop here again. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing, completing, quick to Calvin Ridley. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Here's a run on first down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
On 2nd down, here's Lawrence. He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 and a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only first down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on 2nd down.
Lawrence on target there to Ingram. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 30. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Straight ahead, Etienne. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Lawrence. He'll connect on the out route with Ingram. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
This has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Nothing the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Jacksonville, and it's the Jags with the football as they go to work on a 1st and goal. Here's Lawrence to throw. Touchdown, Jaguars! Christian Kirk, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Jags have cut it back within a score.
Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. Here's Richie James on the return. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs ready to go again. He threw a touchdown pass last time they had it. And he'll look to get him in the end zone again here as they start with a 1st down. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. He'll get this one to Kelsey. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a 1st down.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Here's Mahomes to throw. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
A run by Pacheco on 2nd down. That one good for 12 yards and a Kansas City 1st.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Pacheco once again to about the 26 here.
Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
The good signal callers will never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on first down, holding them to a short gain.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Looking to throw is Mahomes, and he fires one incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Here's Mahomes, 3rd and goal. And that's caught. It's Kelsey. Touchdown, Kansas City. Travis Kelsey, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Chiefs go up by 2 touchdowns. So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game and no signs of slowing down.
Butker now to add the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it culminates in a Travis Kelsey touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no return here for Agnew, so they'll bring it out, start the drive at the 25. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
Now, hang on here a second. Looks like a Jaguar in some obvious discomfort from that last play. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. On 1st and 10, it's ETN. And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. 15 more yards there, and quickly another first down. Now Lawrence to throw. And that one too wide and incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Here we go.
2nd and 10. Here's Lawrence again. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. That's George Karlaftis, who fought his way through the line to bury him.
Well, defensively, they're doing everything they can to protect this early lead after giving up a touchdown on their last drive.
Let's go.
So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That is caught. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. They'll send Kirk in motion right. They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On 2nd down, ETN once more.
1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 11.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play.
On 3rd down, Lawrence working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Jags are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And this is an offense in need of getting a few good things to happen. Here's one right here. They've had their share of struggles in key moments, but that's a nice throw.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Calvin Ridley, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Jaguars have got it back to within a score.
McManus now for the extra point.
And oh, it's blocked.
It's picked up, a live ball here, remember. But he will not be able to bring this one back, and the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
I know it's easy to kind of shrug off a blocked extra point, but this game is shaping up to be a tight one. The second half, this could prove crucial.
Yeah, we might look back on this one. We'll have to wait and see.
And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25.
And now here comes Kansas City.
Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. And they've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Mahomes now to throw.
He'll get this complete to Kadarius Toney.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. Third and short, McKinnon. But he won't quite make it. He needed 6. He got about 5. 4th down. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away.
A 39-yard punt, a return of 5. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. And now out come the Jags. Well, looking back to that first quarter, they struggled, but now here in quarter 2, they seem to have some rhythm.
And it really shouldn't be a surprise to us, because when we were in the production meetings, we asked a few of the players about, hey, what if things get a little rocky early? They all said the exact same thing. We're prepared, so we're confident things will work out. And so far, they've started to do so.
Those 3 words we hear a lot, stay the course. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on 1st down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who can make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
On third down, here's Etienne.
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Not the result they were looking for there on third down. They end up taking a loss on the play. The only person happy now, the punter, gets to go out there and show Mom that he gets to play in the game.
Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away.
On the return, it's James. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
KC's offense ready to take over. And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about extending the lead, I think you're talking about aiming for the end zone because there is plenty of time for that. The fallback is to get 3. But in your mind, you put 6 on the board right before the half. That's a heck of a dagger and great momentum to carry into the locker room.
Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. From midfield, here's Mahomes.
He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Casey Hayward. And they will finally stop him, but a great return. Gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line.
Well, he's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
And the Jags going to go on offense now late in this first half. And now following that turnover, they've got an opportunity here to try to cash in with good field position before intermission. Now Lawrence on first down. Oh, and that is incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know there's probably another throw coming on third down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. It's Joshua Williams with a pick. And the Chiefs force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that 3rd down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half.
On 1st and 10, here's Pacheco.
And he's going to lose yardage. Not that it matters as the final seconds tick away. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Chiefs on top. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with a coach and our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll start up at Highmark Stadium, just outside of Buffalo. And it's the Raiders out in front as they approach halftime. The Raiders locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. From there, we head down south to Atlanta. Check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Packers. Mac Hollins, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get to the country music capital of the world. See what's happening with the Titans at home in Nashville. As you can see, the score there in the second quarter. DeAndre Hopkins, a touchdown reception. We got a strong first half out of the running back, Isaiah Pacheco. He wound up finding the end zone on a touchdown run to help give his guys the advantage here at the break. These two coaching staffs likely going through their final adjustments for the second half. One of these teams is going to emerge 2-0. But who will it be? To find out, let's go back to Brandon and Charles.
And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The Chiefs ready to go on offense to begin quarter number 3.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Here's Pacheco to begin the drive.
And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down.
56 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
On 1st down, they go back to Pacheco.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs 1st down.
They've got the lead early here in the 3rd quarter, and runs like that are how they establish that lead in the 1st half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the 2nd half.
Yeah, boy, the strength on display there as he rumbles through tacklers for a gain of about 8.
And the officials here going to pause the game for a second. Looks like there's an injured Chief on the field. Now, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. From the 42 now, here's 2nd and 2. Pacheco gets it up the gut.
Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25.
It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Chiefs 1st down.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right. They need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
They run it with Pacheco from the gun.
And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown.
Isaiah Pacheco
with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year.
And the Chiefs take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Butker on for the PAT. And the lead is up to 15 now. So this drive spans 7 plays. And the last play, a really nice run that culminated in the touchdown. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
Draw play, ETN. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
2nd down and 8. And they'll go again with ETN.
And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on first down quickly negated. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Lawrence.
And almost, but not quite. Needed 10. He got 9. 4th down.
So a man shaken up on the play, and this is certainly noteworthy. It's Trevor Lawrence, the quarterback. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35.
The ball back to the Chiefs and Isaiah Pacheco.
The Yeoman's effort on that last drive. 7 carries, got the touchdown as well. And the O-line probably got a little extra oxygen on the sideline in between.
And deservedly so, because they were also calling for him to continue to get the ball, because there's a rhythm that gets established, right? When you're running it well and the back's getting the ball and he's in sync and reading blocks, and the offensive line wants to continue to pound away. Haven't met an offensive lineman yet that likes to pass block more than he likes to run block. In that last drive, we saw the end result, didn't we?
Yep, and all were rewarded with a trip to pay dirt. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Headed straight, it's Pacheco. And not much room to speak of. He'll get about 3 up to the 41.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line, because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
They're going to run. It's McKinnon.
And he works free. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
Defensively, a bit of a collapse, allowing the 4th down play to result in 23 yards. Thought they might throw the football with a little chunk that they had remaining on 4th down, but they ran it, they got it.
And the reason they were able to get it done, he ran that play with conviction, didn't he? Understood he would get a little bit of help from his friends up front, but it was really on him to go ahead and make the power move and get it done, and that he did.
A handoff now for Pacheco.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
38-yard line, 2nd and 9.
Now they'll throw with Mahomes. And the Jags get to him as down he goes.
Brought down by Trayvon Walker on the pass rush.
and they visited the end zone frequently in this one, and obviously they wanted another one. But give credit to the defense there. They may not make the comeback, but pride showed. Good sack on that play.
Throw left side complete. That's James. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow him to convert a 3rd and 18. On the handoff, it's Pacheco. And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. 136 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And a really good show of force there as he gets through for 4 tough yards.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Again, it's Pacheco. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Well, how about the big guy there showing some agility? He just flowed from his D-tackle position in order to make that play.
And the Jags, Charles, I think they're on the dime here.
Covering a lot of field.
Now Mahomes. He's got his target. That's complete. And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Richie James, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. So I tell you what, Charles, I know that you don't put a ton of stock into power rankings and things of that nature, but another score here, and 2 weeks into the season, this is maybe the most impressive team in the NFL. Would you agree?
Well, they've certainly sold me as they've sold you, and I agree with you, no question about it. They won easily last week. They're on their way to another lopsided victory here. They're definitely a team to be reckoned with, and they are serving notice to the rest of the league.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and the lead opens up now to 22 points. And no return here for Agnew, so they'll bring it out, start the drive at the 25. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Jacksonville. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Open man is Kirk, complete. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Well, at this stage of the game in the 2nd half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
They'll run out of the gun with Pacheco. And he'll get it down this time to the 17.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there, and I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think you may want to keep them cranking high right here.
They'll run here with Pacheco.
And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Not a whole lot there on 1st and goal, and that's what you're looking for defensively. You'll certainly live with giving up just a yard or 2 in this situation.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal.
Here's Pacheco once again.
And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown.
Isaiah Pacheco
taking it in from 7 yards away.
And the Chiefs are on their way to a 2-0 start.
Sometimes you get a 1st and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9 yard line, and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on 1st down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Extra point by Butker is on target.
And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away.
And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here.
Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on 4th down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown. So now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it. Sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Running out of the gun with Etienne.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a 1st down as well.
Jaguars, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
A shotgun snap and a give to Etienne.
And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43.
42 yards rushing for him now to this point.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
To throw is Beathard. That's going to be caught by Kirk.
And Kirk is going to have the Jaguars 1st down as he's up past the 45-yard line.
It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
To throw is Beathard. Completes it to Evan Ingram. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And that is incomplete. Oh, he had it and dropped it. That is an unforced error there, and it takes away what could have been a touchdown.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They'll throw here. Beathard. And that is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And the Chiefs defense comes up with a stop. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
Andre Cisco there on the stop.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. They're looking at 3rd and the nose of the football. They'll look to pick it up with McKinnon. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down.
And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete. But their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
He's been big, 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Brandon, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about to run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
Butker now to add the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. That time a 9-play drive. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And no return here for Agnew, so they'll bring it out, start the drive at the 25.
Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here.
Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
Here's Beathard to throw. And a little floater there, but it'll wind up incomplete, falling to the ground.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hoping they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a first down.
Now Beathard. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Fights him off. That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10.
At their own 30-yard line.
Interesting, Mahomes wants to throw it. This ball deep for Tony. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
On play action, it's Mahomes. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. Well, up big here in the 4th quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly...
And that's caught inside the 30. And he will step out of bounds here inside the 30. A big play there for KC. 42 yards.
And even with the game seemingly in hand, they're continuing to fire away, pressing the ball down the field. Listen, it's worked all day. No reason to go away from it now.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. He'll check this one down to Pacheco. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's 2nd down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Now it's Mahomes again. And this is caught at the 8. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Now Mahomes to the line as the Chiefs are going to go for the 2-point try. Mahomes will throw for it. And boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again.
They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a first down.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Beathard. A short throw to Ingram, and he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it's second down.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
Back to throw Beathard. He targets Ingram for another grab. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 35. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Well, this game, it was well in hand early, never really in doubt. Charles, you and I do so many games together. There's so much parity in the NFL, a lot of close battles. This was not one. Tip your cap to them for a really impressive effort.
Yeah, and you know, as the game went on, I think the defense kind of got together and said, you see our guys on offense, they're just putting up point after point. We need to leave our mark somehow, too, and they did it, pitching a second-half shutout.
So for the Chiefs, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, they'll fall to 1-1, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.